Welcome back to Esoteric Odyssey. In our first video of this three-part series, we briefly discussed Hermetics, its origins, and the legendary sage Hermes Trismegistus. I will put the link to that video down below. Today, we are going to explore the 7 Hermetic principles as presented by the 3 initiates. At the end of this video, I will add some personal commentary about what we covered today, including some critical thoughts and considerations that surfaced as I conducted my own research. First, let's discuss the differences between various texts associated with Hermeticism. 3 of the more well-known being the Kybalion, the Emerald Tablet, and the Corpus Hermeticum. While they are all associated with Hermeticism, they are all distinct texts with different content and purposes. The Kybalion is a relatively modern book that was first published in 1908 by the anonymous individuals under the pseudonym The 3 Initiates. The 3 Initiates were thought to be students of Hermeticism. In trying to figure out who the 3 initiates were, I only came up with one identifiable individual. Per Wikipedia, William Walker Atkinson was one of the 3 initiates. He was an attorney, a merchant, a publisher, and an author, as well as an occultist and a pioneer of the New Thought movement. He wrote an estimated 100 books, all in the last 30 years of his life. That's not to say that he was the only contributor. I mean, there were 3 initiates, right? Or maybe there were 30 initiates. Or maybe there was just the one. We may never know for sure. The Kybalion outlines the principles of Hermeticism in a concise and accessible manner. The primary focus on the 7 Hermetic principles, which include mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender. Secondly, we have the Emerald Tablet. The Emerald Tablet is a short cryptic text attributed to Hermes Trismegistus. It's often considered one of the foundational documents of Western alchemy. The content of this tablet is symbolic and metaphorical, discussing the concept of the Philosopher's Stone and the transmutation of base metals into gold. It's written in a poetic and allegorical style. The Emerald Tablet is a concise alchemical text, full of alchemical symbolism and ideas of transmutation, not just of base metals to gold, but more having to do with self. Finally, we come to the Corpus Hermeticum, which is a collection of philosophical and theological texts attributed to Hermes Trismegistus. These texts cover a wide range of topics, including spirituality, cosmology, and the nature of God. The Corpus Hermeticum is a more extensive collection compared to the brief and symbolic nature of the Emerald Tablet. It includes dialogues, hymns, and teachings. It encompasses a broader array of philosophical and mystical subjects. But let's take a closer look at the 7 principles. Our journey begins in the cradle of civilization, ancient Egypt, where the Hermetic tradition is believed to have its roots. In the temples of Thoth, the god of wisdom, thrived a sacred knowledge passed down through the ages. Among the treasures of Thoth's teachings is the legendary Emerald Tablet, which stands as a cornerstone. It's said to contain the essence of Hermetic wisdom encapsulated in cryptic verses. As the tablet traveled through time, various cultures and mystics sought to interpret its messages, leading to the development of the 7 Principles of Hermetics. We begin with the principle of mentalism. The principle of mentalism is the idea that the universe is a mental construct, that the mind is the source and foundation of all reality. That all is mind. It suggests that everything is essentially a manifestation of the mind, and all aspects of reality are interconnected. He who grasps the truth of the mental nature of the universe is well advanced on the path to mastery. The Kabbalion. The principle of mentalism really emphasizes the power of the mind and how everything is interwoven and connected. Principle number 2, the principle of correspondence. As above, so below. The microcosm reflects the macrocosm. The second principle states that there is a correspondence between the different planes of existence. A spiritual plane, a mental plane, and a physical plane. This principle suggests that what happens in one realm has a corresponding effect in another realm. The idea of correspondence draws parallels between microcosm and macrocosm, and we can see that through symbols and patterns that resonate across different levels of existence. Now let's dive into our third principle. The third principle is the principle of vibration. This principle suggests that everything is in constant motion, that nothing is truly at rest. Everything is moving at different frequencies. Nothing is still, not even your pet rock. The Kabbalion states, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. This can relate to modern physics, spirituality, emphasizing the dynamic of nature on the universe and the importance of energy frequencies. Principle number 4, the principle of polarity. This principle suggests that there is a duality in the universe, that opposites are inherent in all things. The principle of polarity implies that everything in the universe has its opposite. Everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has a pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature but different in degree. Extremes meet, all truths are but half-truths, all paradoxes may be reconciled. Here's an example. This principle implies that north and south are merely a matter of degree. This can go for emotions, love, hate, sadness, happiness. They're all just different degrees. The same goes for hot and cold. Hot and cold seem to be opposing, but really it's just a different degree of temperature. This principle suggests that opposites are interconnected and dependent upon one another for their existence. This dance of opposites explains how polarities are essential for balance and growth. Now we come to Principle 5, the principle of rhythm. The principle of rhythm invites us to understand the ebb and flow of life. Everything flows out and in. Everything has tides. The Kabbalion. Everything has a season. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. There is a natural order to all things. This principle focuses on the cyclical nature of existence, encouraging mindfulness and alignment with the natural rhythms of life. Even we as humans have our own circadian rhythm. It reminds me of the quote, "The only constant is change." Principle number 6, the principle of cause and effect. This principle states that every action has a reaction. Every cause has an effect. The principle of cause and effect embodies the truth that the law pervades the universe and nothing happens by chance. Chance is merely a term indicating cause existing but not recognized or perceived. The phenomena is continuous, without break or exception. Again, everything has a reaction. Every cause has an effect. This principle highlights the importance of conscious choices and the interconnectedness of actions and consequences. Every cause has a corresponding effect. Every effect is a cause that produces another corresponding effect. The Kabbalion states that nothing escapes the law of cause and effect. But the masters, rising to the plane above, dominate their moods, characters, qualities, and powers, as well as the environment surrounding them, and become movers instead of pawns. Sorry, that got a little bleak. Let's move on. Our journey concludes with the 7th and final principle, the principle of gender. The principle of gender is the concept of masculine and feminine energies existing in everything. The principle of gender emphasizes the interplay of masculine and feminine energies, thus emphasizing the need for balance and harmony to unlock the full potential of self. The word gender is derived from the Latin root meaning to beget, to procreate, to generate, to create, to produce. A moment's consideration will show you that the word has a much broader meaning than the term sex, the latter referring to the physical distinctions between male and female living things. These 7 principles of hermetics have been a beacon guiding seekers on the path to understanding the universe and the mysteries within. They found their way to the works of renowned figures such as Paracelsus and Isaac Newton, shaping the landscape of Western esotericism. Remember, the keys to the universe are within your grasp. Thank you for joining me on this transformative adventure. Stay tuned for commentary, but if you have to go, may the principles of Hermeticism illuminate your path. Here's my afterthought. According to the Pythagoreans, the number 7 means spirituality or classic antiquity, which is the union of the number 4 and the number 3. Do you think that this is the reason the 3 initiates chose the number 7 for the number of principles? And also, the number 3, which also means spiritual? Is that why there were 3 initiates? Anyway, I'd love to hear what you think. Comment down below and tune in next week for our 3rd installment of this series on Hermetics. Stay weird.